Kayfabe Friends, the podcast you need.
David Difference. Oh, what a difference a Dave makes. Here with the legendary Buff Bagwell.
His opponent, WCW Magazine Rookie of the Year, Marcus Alexander Bagwell.
Marcus Bagwell, best known to the wrestling world as Buff Bagwell, began his career in 1991 with World Championship Wrestling. Buff burst onto the scene, quickly becoming a sensation with his electric charisma and high-energy performance, and was voted WCW Magazine's Rookie of the Year.
You know, this kid's pretty, he's got that pretty face, all the girls swoon over him.
Teaming up with legends like Too Cold Scorpio, Buff clinched 5 World Tag Team Championships, cementing his status as a top competitor.
I'm Buff, I'm tough, I'm the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough.
When Buff joined the NWO in 1996, he reinvented himself, bringing a whole new level of swagger and style to the ring.
Joe Man, up on top, here on WCW.
Despite facing personal battles,
And I'm still good looking.
Buff's strengths and determination, along with support from Diamond Dallas Page and the Accountability Crew,
Take some accountability, bro.
helped him overcome these challenges. From WCW, WWE, and the independent wrestling circuit, Buff Bagwell's impact on wrestling is undeniable. The 2024 Cauliflower Alley Club Men's Wrestling Award recipient, Marcus Buff Bagwell.
At the CAC 58th Annual Reunion. Buff, how you feeling?
I'm doing great, man. Just excited to be here. This thing's a much bigger thing than I thought. The CAC's it's the real deal, man, and just excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. So is this your first time here at the CAC?
My first time ever at the CAC.
Okay. And I think it's so, I talk to a lot of people, but the special thing is we bring in the big names, the big guns like Buff Bagwell.
Yes.
It brings a lot of attention to the cause of the CAC and what we do to help and give back. What is your thought process on the importance of an organization like Cauliflower Alley Club in the wrestling industry?
Well, what I look at is, I mean, man, it wasn't too long ago that nobody even cared about any of wrestling. Like WCW even, I remember being outside of center stage begging people to come in for free so we could shoot a television show. And I mean, they got in, and I'm talking about Sting, Luger, Macho Man's, and we still couldn't get people to come in to tape a show.
Right.
And then to go from that to this, it's unbelievable, bro. Or even that at WCW, me begging people with a guy named Chip Burnham to come in, and people don't know this, and hiring 2 models so when we go in and out of break, the fans had their teeth. That's a true story, brother. A true story.
And you said only 2?
2. And so if you really are, if you were really aware, the 2 we hired, every commercial break was the same 2 people, but you just they would change their shirts or something.
Right.
And they got $75. They got more money than the wrestlers got. And that was just to have a good-looking person to go in and out of commercial break.
Okay.
To see this business, to see that company go from that to 85,000 people at the Georgia Dome, it's incredible. It's this whole thing. None of us, nobody, David Difference, nobody saw that coming. It's incredible.
Yeah, and so let's talk about your legendary career. WCW Magazine Rookie of the Year when you came out. Fly young man. The ladies loved him, still do to this day. I mean, you're Buff Bagwell, but like so many ups, so many highs. NWO, like just an illustrious career. What are some of the moments that stand out to you as far as that journey?
Well, to me, the Rookie of the Year is a big one, man. The Rookie of the Year to me it says a lot, man, because if you get that, you're on the right track,
Definitely.
But what stands out to me is I remember looking at the world champion line and looking at the tag team division line. And the tag team division line was shorter. And I thought, you're a world champion in neither one. I'm going to get in this line. And because I love tag team wrestling, so I became what I think a great tag team wrestler. So to my knowledge, I am the only 5-time world tag team champion with 4 different partners.
Okay.
So it's me and Too Cold Scorpio, Stars and Stripes twice, Scotty Riggs, and Shane Douglas. 5 titles, 4 partners. It's never been done before. That is my claim to fame, and I'm proud of that because that shows you how good of a wrestler that I am. Because it's hard to do. It's hard to do that, brother. Because Shane Douglas is nothing like Too Cold Scorpio.
Right.
Too Cold Scorpio is nothing like the Patriot. It has to do with me adjusting and learning. And so I learned so much by being versatile. I just love this business so much. It's great, but tag team wrestling to me is number 1.
Okay. Yeah, no, great action. Always brought it, man. Like, just a tremendous talent. Tell me about, like, one of the things, I got out of wrestling for maybe 3-4 years, and then NWO hit. NWO brought me back, and it was like, yeah. It was like, let's go again. So being a part of that, it was like one of the biggest things ever in wrestling. I mean, I remember the feel of just watching NWO come out Monday Nitro. What was that ride like?
Dude, it was really, it's unexplainable, because when you had that NWO shirt on, it's just, you were part of something that was real, man. I mean, everybody knew what the NWO was. Everybody. And everybody wanted in, and everybody wanted to do the handshake and the Too Sweet and the For Life. And, Kevin, Scott Hall, and Hulk is who made that what it is. We just helped out with it. But all of the handshakes and the For Life, all that was Scott and Kevin. They're so great at what they do, but they really are the ones that brought that, to make it mainstream. But we just kind of helped out. But that was when you wore that NWO shirt, brother, you were part of a winning franchise team that everybody knew, everybody wanted to be in the NWO.
Yeah, definitely. So talking about CAC, we'll circle back real quick. Number 1, congrats on overcoming everything you've recently overcome, or you look amazing.
2 years, August 27th.
Congrats.
3 days, 2 years, brother.
That is awesome. Like, obviously, people know the stories, right? And personally for me, like, my brother, he looks like The Rock. Huge. He was the number 1, basketball high school recruit. Just had it all. And went down the wrong path.
Really?
Yeah.
Your brother?
Yeah, and amazing human being, but he passed away. So
overdose?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm telling you, but maybe you can relate. Like, when he would go through his stages, all he cared about was, did he look good? So he was training. He needed his steroids, whatever he needed. Right. But that's all he cared about. As long as he looked good, right, he could pass it off. Like. Right.
That's what I banked my addiction on that. So anybody that looked at Buff Bagwell, they didn't see drug addict because I looked so good. I felt like if I could trick them and let them see that I was in shape, they wouldn't know I was a drug addict. And I fooled them for a long time, man. But I was only tricking myself. I end up killing myself. But no matter how much you hide it, eventually it's going to come out. And mine did. And I just ended up saying that I was sedated every day for probably 20 years. And I lost, I didn't lose 20 years, but I lost a really high percent of 20 years. And so it's just wonderful to be 2 years sober and remember the CAC, remember Dave and the difference. Yeah. I mean, just remembering everything I do now, and it means a lot more to me. But freedom is the word. Yeah. Freedom from the addiction, freedom from alcohol, freedom from prescription pills. Freedom is the word of my life.
No, that's so beautiful. And let's not forget about peace. Like, the amount of peace you got to be feeling right now. Yes. So, yeah, very, near and dear. So that story inspires me. And my brother used to always say, oh, if he can get a hold of DDP, he'd probably turn him around. But so many people don't reach that moment where they have that change, and like hats off
So
to
he
you.
was actually reaching out for help.
He wanted to. He seen what he was doing with Scott Hall, and he was like, oh yeah, I need to get with DDP. And he always compared him.
So what was his drug of choice?
You tell me. It was meth.
Really?
Meth, alcohol, but then when he died, he just had a beer and a.
The bodybuilding thing and meth don't go together.
He was ripped, like he was ripped. But and then when he passed, and you know, just to get a little personal, it's his life, man. But he just had a beer and a muscle relaxer, and it hit him wrong, and he was gone.
Absolutely, and it can do. That's what happens. That's what happens. But that was my drug of choice, was muscle relaxers. I was muscle relaxers and bit a bunch of them, and it just got to be ugly, you know.
Yeah. And you know, on to brighter things. But here we are. Right, and like what you did for Scotty Riggs and everything has just been amazing. DDP, like he's doing God's work out there.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a very special guy, man. Very different guy. The thing about Dallas is he didn't do this for money. He did it to help somebody. Out of it, he got paid doing it. But he didn't do it for money, brother. He did it because he was trying to make a difference. He was trying to stay positive. Diamond Dallas Page is a special, special human.
Right. So, being the David difference, question I like to ask. Like, a lot of people want to be in the wrestling industry. A lot of people get in the wrestling industry. A lot of people don't reach the peaks that you've reached. What's the difference when it comes to Marcus Bagwell?
The difference with Marcus Bagwell is I truly care. You can sit back from any merchandise table you've ever seen Marcus Bagwell at in your life, and you could have a video camera on me over the past 34 years. Anytime I was anywhere talking to anybody, it was from my heart. There was never a time that I was putting on or trying to get through it. Even through my addiction, I cared. I cared about the fan. I was engaged. I was talking to them, shaking hands, kissing babies. Marcus Alexander Bagwell is truthfully a good guy.
There you go, and I believe it, man. Like I said, you're an inspiration to me and to many out there. You got a YouTube channel, it's popping. I see you over there talking. He's telling great stories behind the scenes, all this kind of knowledge. You want to plug that real quick?
I do. Marcus Buff Bagwell on YouTube. Man, it's like really blowing. Hey, Chase, come here for a minute. So this is my YouTube guy, Chase. So tell a little bit about our YouTube channel.
So we just jumped on YouTube. It's only been about 10 days.
10 days.
104,000 tws.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell Mark that yet.
I didn't even know that. Yeah.
We're just starting off, but it's a grind. You know, we've got, I don't know how many things we filmed now. I feel like 30 videos or so. So we'll be doing that a couple videos a week for the foreseeable future, and we'll see what happens.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Check it out on YouTube. Subscribe, because I'm telling you, I already watched the stuff you guys already put up. I'm a fan. I'm a subscriber. And congratulations on the Men's Wrestling Award tonight.
Yes, tonight. I can't wait.
There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, CAC TV.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Kayfabe Friends, the podcast you need, where wrestling talk is the only creed. From the ring to the backstage scene, living the dream like a wrestling machine. Kayfabe Friends, the journey never ends.